and then the LC pays you back.
Is that our cue? Yes. It is our cue. Thanks, Mr. Floor Director. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. I'm Craig Nolan. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Daniel Pineda.
And my name's Adele Quo.
And here we go. Wow, look at this enthusiasm.
We're energized.
Got tonight for our first show in September, the first of the Burr months for 2019. Thank you for joining us. We have the usual stuff right here. I'll run it down for you quickly. News and community bulletin board, as I mentioned, a roll-in from, who is that? Oh, a roll-in. And also, you may have noticed that Adele is here for another installment of
It's Easy Being Green.
We're so good at that. Woo! CBB in there somewhere, as I mentioned. Denise is here talking about Assassins. Is that right? Okay, the play, Assassins.
Wonder if you like
our
it.
News for Senior segment, and then a roll-in with Michelle, our medical insurance reporter, talking to her grandmother, I think.
Yes, about her experiences in the healthcare and what have you.
Industry.
She has good experiences.
That's all coming your way in this edition of Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. But before we begin, here's a social media reminder from Senor Pineda.
Well, that's right, Mr. Nolan. You can watch the Arlington Weekly News on our very own YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News and the number 1. Also, facebook.com/Arlington Weekly News. And we can't forget the radio, right, Craig?
And on the radio, we are on WERA 96.7 LP FM. Check us out, the audio from Arlington Weekly News.
Yeah.
On the radio. All right, here we go, the first of our news items. Well, school started this past Tuesday, in case you hadn't noticed. And the county wasn't quite ready for it. The crosswalks at Swanson Middle have been paved over as part of the resurfacing project on Washington Boulevard, but they were not repainted in time for the September 4th opening. This is in spite of a county-issued press release stating that, and we're quoting now, pedestrians are reminded to only cross the street at crosswalks and follow the instructions of the crossing guards, end quote. However, nearby Westover, they're still in about the same shape. They're not much better, so there you go. Daniel.
Well, that's right, Craig. On to other news for tonight. There are other changes in schools, new traffic patterns in Roslyn, Cherrydale, and Arlington Heights. In addition, other changes have increased the likelihood of children walking or biking to school, which will increase the need for driver caution. A greater number of school buses are also expected in some locations, increasing congestion. The best policy is one of caution and patience.
Caution and patience. All right, Daniel, also in our news items with the Arlington Independent Media fundraiser coming up at the end of the month, this might be a good time to consider the history of fundraising in general. Fundraising goes back a long way, even to biblical times. In Exodus 25, 2 through 6, it says, "The Lord says to Moses," and we're quoting now from the Bible, "Speak unto the children of Israel, unto, that is, the children of Israel, and they may bring me offering. For every man that giveth it willingly with his heart, ye shall take my offering. And this is the offering which ye shall take to them, gold, silver, and brass, and blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine linen, and goat's hair, and ram skins dyed red, and badges, and take to badgers' skins, and shittim wood," end quote. And the list goes on from there, but as you may have gathered from that, fundraising has been around for quite some time. Daniel.
Well, Craig, later during the age of exploration, it was usually necessary to persuade the kings and queens of Europe to support expensive ocean voyages. This was difficult to do until the discovery of what is now known as America, when the potential for profit became a motivating factor. This was soon followed by what is now known as the stock market. Funds were raised by the selling of shares of ownership in a company with the hopes and expectations of some future financial return. In the case of nonprofit or charitable organizations, the returns may not be financial in nature, but are based on the hope that some cause or institution may be advanced or perpetrated.
And Daniel, also in our news items, tough times in the early 20th century brought about a phenomenon known as the rent party. It was a community celebration of sorts featuring music and dancing, but its core purpose was to raise enough money for the tenants putting on the party to meet the coming rent's payment. More recently, the scope of such entertainment-based events has expanded to include the muscular dystrophy telethons, the concert for Bangladesh, Band-Aid, Live Aid, Farm Aid, and yes, Arlington Independent Media, whose website just happens to be, and we send this out to you in good faith here, www.arlingtonmedia.org. Check it out. All right, we'll be back with CBB, as promised, right after we hear from Adele, and another edition of
It's Easy Being Green.
Here's
All
Adele.
right. Well,
Yeah.
thanks again for another wonderful welcome. Welcome back to It's Easy Being Green. My name is Adele Quo. Our mascot, Joe Tree Frog, joins us for an exciting invitation to Autumn Fest, the lively, free celebration, let's say that again, free celebration of fall, herbs, and nature will take place on Sunday, September 15th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Glen Carlin Library Community Garden at 300 South Kensington Street, and yes, that is in Arlington. Autumn Fest offers family-friendly activities and lots of nature-related products, exotic pumpkins of all sizes, and native and other plants perfect for fall planting and autumn decor. Vendors selling handmade pots, handcrafted jewelry, reusable recycled bags, and herbal teas with recipes that you can try at home. You can consult with the Extension Master Gardeners, Tree Stewards, and Audubon at Home ambassadors with plant selection and your garden-related questions. Or you can enjoy 3 educational presentations at 11 a.m. called Grow Your Own Herbal Teas, in which participants will learn about plants and recipes to create the most soothing and tasty libations. At 12 noon, there will be Succulents for Small Spaces. This is a wonderful look at how to hop on board with one of the hottest trends in home and garden decor. And at 1 p.m. is Container Gardening Made Simple. We want to bring beauty and food into your life using containers. The enchanting Glen Carlin Library Community Garden gazebo, arches, and curving brick walkways, they provide an exceptionally lush botanical backdrop to celebrate pumpkins, people, and plants. Glen Carlin is the oldest public library in Arlington. Today, this library is surrounded by the community garden, an official demonstration garden maintained by master gardeners of Northern Virginia and residents of the Glen Carlin neighborhood. The community garden provides resources for Arlington residents to learn how to create gardens in both a suburban and urban landscape. There are many smaller gardens to take a look at, including an herb, shade, sun, tropical, dry, container, and native gardens that provide not only a visual delight all year round, but careful signage, regular mentoring, and teaching, learning, and inspiration opportunities. And across the street, you can enjoy another free tour, I love that word, free, tour of the Colonial Ball Cellars House. This is an historic treasure. It is the oldest house in Arlington, a farm home from the 1740s with a beautiful rain garden, herb garden, and vegetable garden. Visitors to the Ball Cellars House can enjoy treats, make and take home crafts, and learn about gardening in colonial times. So if you have questions, call the Extension Master Gardeners. Their number is 703-228-6414. Or you can email them at mgarlalex@gmail.com. And remember, it's easy being green, celebrating Autumn Fest.
I love that enthusiasm. That's awesome.
I know. I'm going to go.
Very informative. And I didn't know that Glen Carlin is the oldest library in Arlington.
Isn't that interesting?
That is pretty cool, yeah. So you're very informative.
Across the street from the oldest farmhouse.
Really, 1740? That's pretty old.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Ball Cellars House. All right, we appreciate it. Thanks, Adele.
Thank you, Adele.
All right, here we go. As promised now, CBB, Community Bulletin Board File. Item number 1, Chinese visual artist and author Ming-Jun Sun, or Sun, who is known for publishing numerous coloring and paper doll books, will be stopping by coming to Arlington for this event. Here she will be discussing her process for creating these books, which focuses on traditional Japanese and Chinese fashion, and where she draws influence for her designs. Come sip coffee and tea while listening to Ms. Jun Sun discuss her latest work. You'll even get a chance to enjoy her books for yourself. This is all happening on Wednesday, September 11 from 1:30 to 2:30 in the afternoon at the Loft at Cherrydale Branch Library. They're located at 2190 Military Road. Attendance is on a first-come, first-served basis, so get there early. Daniel.
We'll credit on to other CBB stories for tonight. Our parks are certainly beautiful, but without proper attention, they won't stay that way. It's important to maintain and care for our parks, and you can get involved with this fantastic event. Help with trash cleanup, invasive plant removal, and various other projects that may come up. Make sure to dress appropriately for outdoor work. And this all takes place on Saturday. That's September the 14th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's at the Nature Center in Potomac Regional Overlook Park. That's located at 2845 Marcy Road. Register for this free online by searching Fall Cleanup 2019 on novaparks.com. That's certainly a great story for Adele.
Who knew that fall
cleanup
was fantastic?
Fantastico.
Fantastico.
Is that fantastico?
Also in our CBB file, fall is quickly approaching, so here's an event to get you into the spirit of the season. VCE's Master Gardeners are once again hosting their annual Alumni Fest celebration, Take Two, Autumn Fest celebration. Yeah, that's a T. Come down and buy some plants, cooking supplies, and other fall-themed goodies, as well as you can participate in workshops and simply just have a good time. This is happening on Sunday, September 15, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Community Garden at Glen Carlin Branch Library, 300 South Kensington Street. Stop on by. Daniel.
You having a good time, Craig?
Here's one for you now.
Yeah, we're all having a good time here at the Arlington Weekly News. We'll credit the Washington metro area's favorite children's entertainer, the Great Zucchini, is bringing his show to Lubber Run Amphitheater. The Great Zucchini has been entertaining kids for 20 years, performing at private birthday parties, school events, the National Zoo, and yes, even the White House. His show is guaranteed to bring laughs to any child. This free event, is happening on Sunday, September the 15th at 11 a.m. That's at the Lubber Run Amphitheater located at 200 North Columbus Street. And as always, we want to thank our own Jordan Kuharski for this week's CBB Stories. Thank you, Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan. We appreciate it. You know, come to think of it, maybe it was zucchini. I don't know. It could be.
That's the great teaser, right? That's for the next show.
Zucchini. All right, we'll be back with news for seniors right after we hear from Denise and her thoughts on Assassins. Here's Denise.
Signature Theater in Arlington is starting their 30th season with their 30th production of a Stephen Sondheim musical, Assassins. Signature is noted for their fine reimagining of classical musicals, and their relationship with Sondheim is a special one. They have produced more of his work than any other regional theater in America. If you are not familiar with Assassins, it tells the stories of 9 misguided souls who attempted and sometimes succeeded in killing a U.S. president. To some theatergoers, it is unsuitable subject matter for a musical. But for Sondheim lovers, it's a musical masterpiece told with a mix of humor and tragedy that can only be found in his lyrics. John Wilkes Booth was the first and possibly best remembered of these political assassins, and he is brought to life in an enthralling performance by Vincent Kempsky. The Ballad of Booth is sung by Kempsky and Sen Ludwig, who does a spellbinding job as the narrating balladeer, and morphs into Lee Harvey Oswald later in the play. Charles Guiteau, who killed James Garfield, is not as well known, but once signature favorite Bobby Smith endows the perpetual loser with a dose of empathy and dances his way up the stairs to the gallows to meet his lordie, he'll definitely be remembered by signature audiences. John Weidman, who wrote the book, included a number of comic scenes. Many of them feature Tracy Lynn Oliveira as Sarah Jane Moore and Rachel Zampelli as Lynette Squeaky Frome. The ditzy duo meet on a park bench, smoke a joint, and realize that Sarah knew Squeaky's lover, Charles Manson, when she was in high school. They both attempt to kill Gerald Ford, but fail. Sarah does, however, manage to shoot her own dog and a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken in two of the most hilarious scenes. Artistic director Eric Schaefer directs a superlative cast. John Kaubfleisch is the musical director, and Kathleen Geldhard is responsible for the costumes reflecting many different decades. James Kronzer's rustic set is dominated by a tattered presidential box in ruins that memorializes Booth's very public act of ending Abraham Lincoln's life. Assassin plays at Signature Theater through September 29th. It takes aim at some of the darkest moments of American political history and targets chilling results that can best be summed up by the iconic image of Jackie Kennedy on the convertible in which Oswald killed JFK. It will make you reflect on the drastic changes that one pull of a trigger can make. I'm Denise Pringle. Now back to the news desk.
All right, I think she liked it.
Assassins. Wow,
Assassins.
that sounds brutal.
Catchy title.
Brutality.
It's a musical, isn't it? It's Signature Theater. Check it out.
Yeah.
Assassins at Signature Theater.
Assassins.
Thanks, Denise. We appreciate that. All right, as promised, here we go now. News for seniors. Well, the opening ceremonies of the Northern Virginia Senior Olympics will include a color guard from T.C. Williams High School's junior ROTC program. The national anthem will be sung by Debbie Miller, who is former Ms. Senior America of Virginia. And then the official torch carried by Elise Brooks of Arlington will signify the official opening of NVSO. Chairman Roger Webb of the Ashburn delegation will introduce special guests. The ceremony is open to the public and will be followed by 8 track events. This is all happening on Saturday, September 14. At 9 in the morning at TJ, Thomas Jefferson Community Center, located at 3501 2nd Street South. The Olympics will continue through September 28th with 28 different event venues throughout Northern Virginia. For more information, check the website at nvso.us or give them a call at 703-228-4721. Daniel.
Hopefully one of these days you'll be able to sing the national anthem over there, Craig.
That would be nice.
Well, Meg
Would
Newhouse...
you sing it now?
No, thank you.
I'll audition for you.
Meg Newhouse, American Idol's here. Meg Newhouse, PhD, will be leading a half-day workshop on life planning for retirement years. Dr. Newhouse is a nationally known pioneer in life crafting after retirement and the author of Living a Life That Matters. The workshop is free and will take place on Saturday, September the 14th from 1 to 4 p.m. That's at the Fairlington Community Center and Park, located at 3308 South Stafford Street. Early registration is requested. Give them a call at 703-228-4878. Craig.
All right, Daniel, also on our News for Seniors story as well, memory loss that disrupts daily life may indicate that it's time to consult a health care provider. Early detection really matters. Come and learn the 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's from Karen Fagan, physician outreach specialist for the Alzheimer's Association. This is coming up on Wednesday, September 11 at 11 in the morning at Langston Brown Community and Senior Center. They're located at 2121 Culpeper Street. For more information and to register, give them a call at the number on your screen and in your ear now, 703-228-6300. Daniel. Ooh, butterflies.
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 The monarch butterfly has an amazing story of metamorphosis and an unparalleled migration. Certified teachers from the Monarch Teachers Network will discuss the monarch's life cycle, North American migration, and butterfly gardening. That all takes place on Thursday, September the 12th from 11 a.m. to noon. That's at the Langston Brown Community and Senior Center, and that's located at 2121 North Culpeper Street. To register, give them a call at 703-228-6300. And as always, correct, we want to thank our own Judy Masomny for this week's stories. Thank you, Judy, for the senior stories this week.
Thanks, Judy. We appreciate it. And it's about that time again. We'll be back with sign-off and bye-bye right after we have our last roll-in of the evening here, of the day, from Michelle Katz. Here's Michelle.
Well, I figure rather than me talk about ways to save money in healthcare, which I usually do when I'm on this show, let's have someone that's actually tested it out, and that would be my grandma. My 92-year-old grandma has all these fantastic tips on saving money in healthcare, and I'm going to have her start by, first of all, introduce yourself. Grandma, where are you from?
My name is Amy Sewell. I'm originally from Vienna, Austria. Moved to New York, and then I moved down to Florida because New York has gotten too expensive and it's cold.
And now she's here, and we're learning all this stuff about how expensive healthcare is. And she's known this for a while, but I brought her on the show because I thought she can help the seniors out there, and she's 92. And if she can do it at 92, so can you. So let's talk about how to save money on your pharmaceuticals. What's one of the biggest tips you can give us?
The biggest tip is call your insurance company and find out. They have a booklet where you get $50 worth of products, dental care, dental stuff, vitamins, Band-Aids, aspirins. There's a lot of things in here that you can use. You can even get a hot water bottle for a decent price. Usually it's $50 they allow you for non-essential stuff.
And that's $50 a month.
$50 a month. You put it in. It takes about 2 weeks to be delivered, but you can get everything you want. You can get here free. So put in an order every month, and you'll be surprised.
Even if you are still stocked up, there's probably aspirin,
yes.
Tylenol, things you can get for that $50 instead of paying
That's
for
right.
it.
Yeah,
So,
and it's cheaper.
Any other tips you can give us on drugs? Like maybe ordering more? Instead of you get, like, a doctor will order you 30 days, you can get the 90 days.
90 days, yes. And there's some you can get through here, but not all of them. Some of them you have to go through the drugstore. But
the key is to ask.
To ask
for all
yes,
of them.
yeah.
Now let's talk about eyes, because you had a problem with your eyes. You had macular degeneration, and you needed shots. So what happened? Because shots can be really expensive.
Well, the original, if you go to the doctor, to the eye doctor, it's $60. Then the shots cost you $1,400. After 5 shots, the doctor gave me a piece of paper. He said, fill this out, and I got it free. But I had to pay the ones before.
But $60 is much better than $1,400.
That's
and
right.
the website you went to, it looks like she has the card here. It's Good Days, and it's acpweb.mygooddays.org. And did your doctor tell you about that, or did you tell your doctor?
No, my doctor told me about it. I said, I can't afford it anymore. So he says, well, take this form, fill it out. And they approved me, and I got it. I got the last, you need 8 shots because it's bleeding at the back of the eye.
And that's very technical, so that's for macular degeneration. It depends on if you have dry or wet. But the main thing is, she asked her doctor, you can do it too. And all Grandma did was say, I can't afford this. Now, not every doctor is going to be savvy enough as your doctor.
No.
But you can ask, and when you ask, this is what happens. So you got your shots basically for free instead of paying $1,400 for each shot. Yeah. So the next one is your teeth. This is a big one that I always talk about in my book. So what happened?
Well, I went to this place. It's a school for where they learn how to become dentist or dental assistant.
And instead of paying how much?
instead of paying, well, what happened, I went there and I had my teeth cleaned. Every town.
But you were going to pay how much? How much was the big price? Most people pay $19,000.
$19,000.
And instead you got it for how much?
$8,000, but that's
because
the
you went
implant.
for, well, that's because you went to a school. So
Yeah.
now where can everyone find out this information?
It's in every telephone book. Every town has a dental school.
Right.
And it's not that you say, well, they
But you just
don't
go
know
to a
what they're
dental
doing.
school.
Yeah.
So basically, and what's one more tip you can give us about Medicare?
Medicare, call them at night.
Why?
Don't call them in the daytime because by 12 o'clock, these people are stressed out already. And they're not as nice, which I
So you
found
can
out.
get better care at night and more help.
I usually call after 11.
11? Wow.
Yeah, and they're so nice. And they, would you like anything else? Would you like anything else? Would
Right.
you? They're very helpful.
Excellent. So to sum it up, where did you get all this information?
I tried one. Well, I got it from Healthcare for Less.
Really?
And Healthcare Made Easy and one-on-one health insurance tips.
Those happen to be my books.
That's your book.
And you can get them on Amazon still.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
Grandma, of course, has her free copy at home.
Yes.
So thank you so much for your tips, and maybe we'll have you on again for more tips.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Grandma, and back to you.
All right.
Great job, Michelle. Great job.
And her grandma talking about
Healthcare in America.
and healthcare and insurance in particular. And
Yes.
she's been there, done that. It sounds like so. It was a great interview. Thanks, Michelle.
Craig,
Appreciate it.
American Idol's in town. Can you sing us a small clip here? Come on, do the national anthem here.
Pay attention, everyone.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
Okay.
Here.
Oh, say, can you see? That's enough.
Yeah, you're doing a Hollywood. You're doing a Hollywood.
Our very own Craig.
Okay,
Craig Nolan.
That's enough of that. We got to wrap up and get out of here.
Yes.
So our first show in September, our post-Labor Day show. Thank you for watching this edition of Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. Next week, if you're out there, we'll be here and we'll try it all again. Have a safe week. Bye-bye.